there Crafty Pals, Louise here. Thank you so much for checking out this 12x12 scrapbook layout. It is inspired by the Soul Scrapper's Moodboard and I loved these colours. So I pulled a few items from stash, as you can see. I felt like it would go really well with wood grain, and I've just pulled out anything that I could sort of find in the colour palette. And I must admit, so the requirement from Soul Scrappers was to have a building in your photo. My interpretation of building is a little bit loose, but I'm going to roll with it. And so when we went to Bali in December, the place that we stayed, it was called Dynasty Resort. And in their foyer, they had this most amazing gingerbread display, and it was huge. It was a massive, you can kind of see in the photos, hopefully you get the interpretation. So it obviously had a gingerbread, I wouldn't call it a house because that's not the right term, but let's call it a castle. It had a gingerbread castle, and then it had flying gingerbread reindeer above it, and it was just the most amazing, and it smelt so good. Like, just every time you walked into the foyer, all you could smell was the ginger. And so I am using that as my building inspiration today. Now I'm going to go ahead and distress the edges of this patterned paper that I've cut for my background. So that will give some really interesting texture and just give me a bit of a base to work with. I also sort of was inspired a little bit by the stripes of the image and decided to just kind of interpret that into my background. And when I'm working with a lot of squares and different hard edges, it's always nice to throw a bit of a circle element in there as well. So if we, if I'm using lots of straight lines and hard edges, in this case you can see I've got that straight background, just having some circle elements can really bring things to life. All right, as we move forward, I'm going to add some rub-ons into the background. Now, I loved when 49er Market first brought out these rub-ons. I bought like all of them, and they are still in my stash. So great opportunity to get them busted. They were the perfect combination with this particular mood board, and I really like how they look, particularly these straight line pieces as well, tucked in behind those layers. So really, I had lots of fun with this one. I think that the layout is quite unique and interesting, and it was super easy to put together. So when I'm sharing on YouTube and adding my videos, I'm really just hoping to inspire you all in some way. It doesn't have to be something big. It could be just that you want to make a stripy background and use up some of your rub-ons that you've got in your stash. It could be the circle tip about combining some circles with your square, harsher elements. So hopefully when you watch my videos, you're getting something useful out of them, and I'm always aiming to inspire. So if there's something you'd like to see, definitely drop me a comment. I like a challenge. I like when someone says, you don't do this enough. I'd really like to see you try that. So certainly if you think there's something you'd like to see, or my take on an interpretation, then drop me a comment. All right, so I've added a little bit of cardboard just for some dimension, and I'm going to glue everything down because I like the way the rub-ons look in the background. I'm really liking this cluster, and it's just a matter of kind of deciding how much further I want to kind of enhance this layout. And looking at the mood board, I realized that I didn't have a great deal of sort of it's really hard because it's not a pink, it's like a creamy pink, and it took me a while to head into my stash and find something that might actually work in terms of the mood board and trying to feature a few of those lighter pinkish kind of elements. But I did manage, so I found this really old sticker collection. I don't even know who made it. I believe it came in a Kitaholic kit, so hit me up if you know where that came from. But then, I found a few other little sticker books and bits and pieces that had some nice of those pinky cream kind of elements to help me create this little embellishment cluster down on that bottom right hand side. So Really, at this stage, I'm just taking a minute or two to have a look at some of the elements that I have in these stickers. Like you can see, this one is completely unused. Like this is the first time that I've taken a sticker out of this sticker book. So as much as stash busting is fun, sometimes keeping something in your stash is just the right thing to do because it gives you what you'll need for a particular mood board or challenge sometime down the track. I honestly find the hardest thing for me is to find that element. So I store things by sort of the type of product that they are. So I keep all my stickers together. I keep all my ephemera together in a separate box. I keep all my titles and thickers and letters and alphas all together, again, in a different box. So sometimes I just have to sort through that box once I know exactly what it is that I'm looking for, and then make a decision on what I'm actually going to use. So I think the little bow additives and the few little bits and pieces that are pink really work quite well. Final stages here, I'm just going to add a little bit of tacky glue just to make sure that everything is actually attached. And that's my share for you today. So I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.